Hello, hello, my beautiful beloveds. Welcome to our next episode of the Archangels of Sacred Sexuality. I am so thrilled to be talking about this and sharing this information with you. And yeah, this will be on Archangel Michael or Archangel Michael, however you pronounce that. It's different for depending. And this archangel governs the solar plexus and our sacral chakra. So for me, I've been working with archangels for many years now, and they have shown up in various ways and supported me with working with various aspects of myself. And the chakras are one way that I work with them, and each one of them is kind of governs a different chakra. So it's helpful for me to work with them in that way and connect with their energies in that way. So let's back up a little bit and give a little more context for this particular episode. Like I said, I've been working with the archangels for many years, and they've been wildly supportive for me on my sacred sexuality journey and my spiritual path. And they've been very empowering, enlightening, bringing lots of wisdom and support and love and connection and a lot of insight, and a lot of helping me clear out old belief systems, old energies, old thought forms and patterns that haven't been serving my highest good, and really helping to open me into a higher consciousness and a higher understanding around my sexual energy, around how I move in the world, how I connect with others, my spiritual path. There's just been so much. So Archangel Aurora some time back started connecting with me, and through her wisdom and guidance, she said to create this series. So thought that it would be very helpful for others to connect with the angels around this topic around sexuality. And I know that's maybe a little taboo for some people. Archangels and sexuality, what is that? So which I'm very happy to kind of blow the doors off of, old ways of connecting with the archangels. And they are not um owned by any one system or any one religion. They are an energy and a frequency in our experience, in our reality, in our universe, and they are available for anybody to connect with. It does not, again, it's not owned by or affiliated with one tradition, one religion, one, anything. It's a universal experience. Archangels are. So we can let go of that. And I know a lot of people associate archangels with a specific tradition, and that's just not the truth of it, right? They are open and available for all of us, for anything, right? They're very benevolent, beautiful, powerful frequency in our experience, and as such, they are here to support us. So and also important to recognize that it is not a hierarchy thing. They aren't above us or better than us. We are all one. We are all in this universe together. We all have our different frequencies and unique individual energies and what's the word I'm looking for? Spectrum of energies, our own powers, right? We're all very unique individuals. So that's one way that we've given our power away, to this hierarchy, thinking we're less than anything out there. We're very powerful divine beings. We've just kind of forgotten this. And that's also what the archangels are helping to remind us and helping us to remember the truth of our frequency, the truth of our power, the truth of our divinity. So very powerful for that and very supportive. And they are really here to help us remember our truth, remember our power. So very exciting. I invite you to check out if you're new to this series, check out the very first one where I get into, it's more of an introduction of this series and what it's all about. And I get into a lot of what I was just talking about, how to work with archangels, why we do so, who they are, what they are, based on my own personal experience. Of course, everybody is going to have their own unique experience, right? I do not have the monopoly on how to work with and connect with archangels. I'm just sharing my experience and hoping to open that up for you and inspire you to connect if it feels, right for you, or maybe you already have been and so you having your own experience. So again, this is just from my own personal experience. So really important for all of us on this spiritual journey to open into ourselves, trust ourselves, move towards what feels right for us, right? Don't take anybody else's word for it. Don't let people tell you what is right and what isn't, and how you should connect or not connect. So just really personal path. And that's how we come back into our own power, right? Remembering our truth, trusting ourselves, opening to messages and wisdom that come through from our higher selves, from these other benevolent frequencies, right? And just really trusting that process for ourselves. If you feel called to connect, trust that. And if you don't, trust that too. It's just worked beautifully for me. It's done a lot for me on my path, and I'm excited to be talking more about it and sharing my experience with you. So, all of that being said, let us move on to Archangel Michael. Again, this is a very sacred masculine energy. He is, I associate with him with a lot of fire. That's how I have connected with him, for the fire element. And that's a real spiritual growth and transformation. It's passion, it's creativity, it's our life force energy. Again, the sacral chakra and the solar plexus. The sacral chakra, for me, what I've learned is on my experienced is all about our sexual energy, our creativity, our passion, our life force, vitality, that sexual energy that runs through, right? The Kundalini energy is also one way of understanding that or connecting with that. The solar plexus is our own personal power, our sovereign free will, our strength. I think of it as like Christ consciousness too, just really being these powerful, amazing beings of light that we truly are, divine beings of light. And when our solar plexus is strong, we are in our power. We're in a lot of self-love. We're in worthiness. We are shining our light bright, and we're confident, we're courageous, we know who we are, and we're not afraid to just be in that power, right? So Archangel Michael can really support us to step into that more and strengthen our solar plexus and our sacral chakra. There's a helicopter flying over, so I apologize if that is in the background there. I am in Bali right now, and I know the sun is a little bright here. The sun is lumen large today. It's been cloudy, but really bright right now. Okay, so back to the solar plexus and sacral chakra. Again, working with Archangel Michael can really help to clear out any imbalances, stuck, stagnant, blocked energies around our sacral and solar plexus chakras, and clearing out, but also strengthening, really strengthening. The fire element is illuminating. It also burns away and transforms. It's a very spiritual transformation energy, right? Again, burning away, illuminating, transforming, turning one thing into another. There's a lot of alchemy here with fire element, right? So that's a very powerful on the spiritual path. And Archangel Michael has been really instrumental in that for me, helping me to see what's ready to go, what's to burn away, and supporting me in that process, but with wisdom and insight, and having a lot of courage and confidence to keep moving forward. This is, again, a very sacred masculine energy. So there's, I connect with Archangel Michael around determination, discipline, dedication, devotion, discernment, and discrimination, all of the D words there, right, that are so important on our path and in our life. Discipline and devotion, like to my spiritual path, to my mission and vision, what I want to create and put out into the world, helping me to be disciplined around that, continue doing my practices every day, and showing up in the way that I want to show up, right? It's really easy for us to get so distracted and forget what we're here to do, or what really lights us up. And I know we don't have to do anything, right? We can just be. But for me personally, there's a lot of things I want to create and a lot of things I want to do. And they're really important to me. And I know in the big scheme of things, it doesn't technically matter, but it's what lights me up, right? Again, there's that fire energy, that passion. It's what I feel like I'm here to shine my light in a specific way. I think we all are here with these unique gifts to share with the world. And for me, Archangel Michael really helps me to remember that and stay on target with that, because I mean, gosh, this world is amazing. There's so much to do and so much to play with and explore, and it's easy to kind of just do that and get lost in shining our light bright, and forgetting. And the more in alignment we are too with ourselves, the more we will naturally shine that light bright and naturally step into discipline and devotion and dedication, right? It will just naturally be a thing for us. But until we're there, for me personally, I need support with being more disciplined and staying on target with what is really important to me. So Archangel Michael can help me with that. And as far as the sacred sexuality, again, like I'm really dedicated to this path and dedicated to seeing what's getting in the way of my being in my power and shining my light and shining my being in my sexual energy, right? In my unique individual expression. And it's Archangel Michael is really, really helpful in that, in helping me to be strong on my sacred sexuality journey and not drop the ball, because there's so much here that we are, looking to release and clear out and move through and transform. Again, there's that transformation energy, right? So working with Archangel Michael just really helps me to do that. So really powerful ally for that. Yeah, spiritual. I'm looking at my notes right now because I don't want to miss anything. So yeah, transforming old ways of being regarding our sexuality. Again, that it's a transformation energy, and Archangel Michael can help us to see where we're stuck in old patterns and old actions. And when we ask, right, that's how we connect with the angels. For me personally, ask for guidance, ask for insight and wisdom and help with transforming, right? Ask for that energy to come in and show you where you're ready to transform and support the process, right? So yes, okay, so yeah, for me it's a very creative life force energy, passion, that sexual energy again, and self-love, self-love, self-love. I mean, how many of us aren't working with that one, right? Again, when we're strong in our power and we're strong in our solar plexus and we're strong in who we are and we know who we are, we can actually shine and we love ourselves, right? And so that's been a really important piece for me, self-love, because I know we all struggle with that. So Archangel Michael is amazing for that one. Action from a heart-based place. We can move about in the world. And like I was talking about earlier, with dedication and devotion and discernment, if I'm being disciplined from a place of fear, like, oh, I'm not going to accomplish something, or I'm not going to achieve something, or I'm in judgment and shame around not doing enough and not feeling worthy enough, that's not what this is about. This is action, supporting action from a heart-based place, right? I want to move forward on my mission and vision from a place of love and supporting us all, and shining my light bright from a healthy place, not like trying to force my way through and make things happen because I'm afraid if I don't, I won't feel worthy and I won't be worthy of all the abundance and the life of my dreams. We really can do a lot of action from a place of fear, a place of lack, a place of feeling like we're not going to get enough, or we're going to miss something, or something's going to happen if we don't do something. That is not the place that I want to move from. And Archangel Michael really helps me to come back into my heart and moving from a heart-based place. Again, it's like that sacred masculine energy. So moving forward from love and not from fear. So that's been really helpful for that. Let's see. Oh, sacred masculine is about presence and holding space, right? And Archangel Michael is amazing for that, helping me to connect with my own presence, to get more still and be in presence. Even though it's a fire energy that is action, it's holding space too. So really helpful for that, and really helpful in sacred sexuality, because you want to be in that powerful masculine energy of holding space and being still, right? It's a dance of the feminine and the masculine within, but we need to hold space for ourselves, for our partner, for this experience, for life, and be able to come into stillness and be present in our sacred sexuality. I talk about that so much. That is really like a key foundation, right? And that's the key with all of life, right? We want to be present for it. And this is why sacred sexuality for me is the spiritual path. It's one avenue. It's an indication. How we do one thing is how we do everything, if you've heard that saying before. So when we practice presence and stillness in our sacred sexuality, shows up in other areas of our life and vice versa, right? So we can explore these practices and this path through many different avenues. For me, it's sacred sexuality, and that has really been very empowering for me. And I think it's an important area for us to work on, because there's been so much distortion and perversion and shunning and shaming and guilt around our sexuality, right? Around our sexual energy. So for me, it's very ripe for spiritual growth and transformation, because there's just so much there to clear out, right? And that's holding us back. And again, once we do that work in this area, it spreads out to other areas, right? It just opens up. So let's see what else. Being more intentional with our sexuality and our life force energy. Archangel Michael is amazing for this. Again, it's like, it's that creative, passionate energy, and getting intentional with it and getting more focused around our sexuality. And again, there's that presence. But so much of our sexuality can happen at a very unconscious level and just going through the motions and in old patterns. And this Archangel Michael can really help us to get more intentional, get more present with it. Again, the intentionality and the presence it goes hand in hand with it for me. So he's very supportive for that. Let's see. Yeah, opening up creativity. I mean, again, that creative life force energy. So that fire, the transformation, the alchemy again. So it really helps to open up our creative life force energy, working with Archangel Michael. Ooh, the alchemy of sexual energies and connections, the fire and heat of passion, connection, sexuality to transform, to connect with the divine within and without. The alchemy of sensual energy and connection, the fire and heat of passion, right? It really transforms and opens things up for us. So again, getting more intentional and really coming into presence with this energy really helps to transform it in such a different way, and utilizing our passion to create a life that we want, right? Again, it's all that creative life force energy. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's just so important to understand the creativity of our sexual energy. It is what brings life into the world. It is what creates life. This is how we got here, through sexuality, right? Through sexual energy. It's a powerful force. And Archangel Michael really can help us step into that even more fully and understand it more. And as my teacher used to say, grok it, right? And once we understand it more, then we start appreciating it more, and we start working with it in a much more, again, intentional way. And then this is great for sex magic, right? Once we get really clear and intentional with this creative energy, that's how we create the life of our dreams. That's how I create being here in Bali for a month out of the year, right? And all my world travel, I create with this powerful energy. Note to self, check out the sex magic video series I've created. And there's a ton of other awesome sex magic videos from a number of other practitioners out there that are just really, really empowering. But that's how I've created this life, right? Clearing all of the energy that isn't serving my highest good, clearing out those unhealthy belief systems, harnessing my energy, recognizing the power of it, and utilizing it to create this. Really, it freaking works when we work it. So really important to understand that energy. And again, Archangel Michael is really powerful for helping us to step into that more, to recognize it, work with it, and harness it, and appreciate it. Let's see. Supports energy flow, clearing guilt and shame energies, really being in our power. Again, so much guilt and shame around sexuality, and that is not being in our power in a healthy solar plexus, right? So Archangel Michael can really help with the fire element, burn that away and transform that, and help us to get into our power and recognize our power, recognize the power of our sexual energy, and release the guilt and shame around that, right? And step into the beauty of it. It's just such a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous energy. Our sexuality, our sensuality is beautiful, sacred energy. And I don't mean sacred like in a religious way. I mean, everything is sacred, right? Everything, like, look at everything around here. Everything is sacred. But when we recognize it and approach everything as that, we change the way we relate to it, right? It's huge. And when we recognize our sexuality, our beautiful bodies, our sensuality as sacred, it really changes how we connect and how we relate to it and how we honor it within ourselves, right? I'm gonna scroll down here a little bit. Let's see my notes. Okay, we're going to move into practices to work with Archangel Michael. And this is, again, what I've done and what's been really helpful for me. And I'm sure there's tons of other things, and you can create your own practices. Again, this is just for inspiration and, yeah, to help spark, see what comes through for you and what makes sense for you, what feels good to you. It is super hot, and I'm like right in the sun here. So apologies for, yeah, whoo, I'm all like, ooh, it's warm right now. It's in the 80s here, which doesn't seem that hot, but it's kind of humid too, right? So fire ritual, speaking of hot, and again, this is a fire element, right? Archangel Michael is sacral and solar plexus. Fire element energy is really powerful to do a fire ritual. Offer in what's ready to go, releasing it into the fire to transform into healthier energies. So, you know, um, connecting with, communicating with Archangel Michael, asking for help and support. That's really key. And that's what I do with fire ritual, right? And it's a way to just like connect in more fully, offering things in, asking for help and support, asking for insight and wisdom to see what I need to see, to transform what I need to transform, praying for courage and confidence and always action from a heart-based place, right? So that's one way I work with this energy. Candle ritual, which is the same, a fire ritual. So, lighting a candle, but putting your intention into the candle. You can anoint it with oils. That's what I love to do. Like frankincense essential oil is great for working with all of the archangels, but anointing a candle and just putting your intentions into it and connecting again, setting the intention to connect with Archangel Michael, the fire element, energies and frequencies to support you on your path. Practicing presence with our bodies and our energy. Again, we talked about it earlier, presence, presence, presence. The more we can come down out of our mind, come into our bodies, maybe breathing into our sacral chakra, breathing into our solar plexus, and just bringing the awareness down can really help strengthen that energy for us. Yeah, courage and confidence, really stepping into that meditation, meditating on Archangel Michael, just setting down and setting the intention to connect. Again, asking for any insights and wisdom to come through. I have found that they are just wildly right here, ready to support us when we ask, but they're not going to, we have free will. So if we don't ask specifically, they're not going to come necessarily knocking on our door, although they do. I've had angels just show up, which doesn't mean they're telling me what to do, but they show up and make their presence known. And then I know to start connecting with them. And that's how this video series came about, because Archangel Aurora showed up, and I knew enough to like, wow, here's a new frequency and energy. Like, why are you showing up in my world today? What do you have any guidance, any insights? And just asking the questions. And then this all transpired and came through. And it's just like, wow, that's amazing. So once we ask, then we need to sit and listen for the guidance, right? We can ask and then just get distracted and don't offer the space and the presence to listen to what's coming through, and it can unfold over time, right? These connections and relationships really unfold over time. The more we strengthen them, the more we ask, the more we connect, the more we offer gratitude too. Build a beautiful connection with them and see what happens in your world. It's really powerful. It's really powerful, but it absolutely develops over time. Absolutely. Journaling, I've done this with Sandalphon and Archangel Gabriel a lot. Like, what wisdom do you have for me today? What are the insights that I need to know today? And then you just write and you just write. It's called automatic writing is one terminology for that. And just write for 10 minutes and don't think about it. Don't edit, don't anything, don't censor, just allow the channel to come through, allow the wisdom to come through and write. And then at the end, you read what's going on, like, oh my gosh, but don't censor and judge what's coming through. Trust it, trust it, trust it. Let's see, gratitude, being in gratitude again, like I just said. You can create an altar, right, to honor Archangel Michael or honor all the archangels, honor yourself and your connection with them, right? That's a really beautiful way to deepen the connection with them for sure. Sigils, you can create a sigil for an archangel, and there's different ones out there that are specific to the archangels as well. So you can look into that. Put that on your altar, draw it, carry it around with you, meditate on it. You know, there's so many ways to work with sigils. Prayer, again, prayer, which to me is just talking with and communicating. I know some people have an issue with that word prayer, but for me, it's just talking to and communicating with the angels or whoever else I might be communicating with. Invite deeper connection and ask for guidance. You know, we really need to ask. It's really helpful when we do. There's stones and crystals that are supportive and help connect with our, again, sacral chakra, solar plexus, Archangel Michael with the fire element. And those are carnelian, golden healer, yellow jasper, fire agate, labradorite, orange kyanite, amber, and pretty much most orange and yellow stones and crystals can be really supportive. Those are some of my favorites, but there's a ton out there. So if you go to a crystal shop or metaphysical shop and you see something that just speaks to you, trust that. That frequency is drawing you in. So just trust. Again, there's our intuition that we can trust on this path. Essential oils, cinnamon, patchouli, blood orange, clove, frankincense, ylang ylang, and myrrh are all really powerful and support a deepening of connection and strengthening of that fire energy within us, strengthening our sacral and solar plexus. So again, all of these things work together for me. So, you know, when I'm talking about the sacral chakra, I am automatically, for me, meaning Archangel Michael as well, because it all works together for me. So those are a number of practices, number of ways to strengthen that connection. To me, what oh, wow, that just cut off my speaking of fire element and the sun, the computer in my laptop got so hot that it just totally shut itself down. So this is part two. We were just about wrapped up anyway, so this is perfect timing. I let it cool down a little bit, but this is one of the ways, like, the universe is speaking to us always. I'm talking about the fire element so much, and the computer overheats and shuts down. It's just, it's perfect. It's really quite perfect. So anyway, I think we had just finished everything up. So this is just a signing off, and thank you so much for being here. And I invite you to explore the rest of the Archangel series to connect with other ones. Again, it's each one governs a different chakra, a different aspect of our sacred sexuality, of our life, of our spiritual path and journey. Each one can support us with different energies and insights and wisdoms and teachings. So be sure to explore that if it's calling to you. Up next, we will be working with the Archangel Gabriel, the gorgeous sacred feminine energy that governs the water element, the heart, and the high heart chakra. Again, for me, you know, it might be different for you. Everybody has their own experience with the archangels, and I just can't stress that enough. So the more you open up the lines of communication and start connecting with them, the more that you'll develop your own understanding and experience with them, right? And that could be drastically different. You know, some people don't even think of Gabrielle as a feminine energy, right? So again, it might show up very differently for you. This is just my experience. So it's really important to really fully embrace that. This is just yeah, for inspiration, right? Just for inspiration. Yeah, so that being said, be sure to check out the rest of my YouTube channel for so much more to support you on your journey. The the Sex Magic series is also that's my most popular one. People are really digging that one, so check that out if you're curious about it. And the archangels are wonderfully beneficial in sex magic and really supercharge and strengthen it, right? So bringing in all the elements, why not? Let's have fun and play in this world, right? So yeah, visit my website for so much more to support you on your journey. I offer energy healing sessions, guidance sessions, programs, and pilgrimages. Our next pilgrimage coming up will be to Mount Shasta, and that's in June or July of 2026. I'm still getting that all organized, but we'll be definitely connecting with archangels during that. Sandalphon and and Ariel. So check out those videos and see for more inspiration on that. And the root chakra, which, oh, Mount Shasta is the root chakra of the planet, which is why we're going. Very, very, very powerful, very important in sacred sexuality, right? So really connecting with our bodies and our sensuality, and opening up and clearing out what's getting in the way, right? So, what else do I have to say? Oh, community events. Every month we have a sacred sensual dance meditation online and a sacred sexual discussion circle also online. So really amazing, profound, transformational, empowering experiences that we've been having together as a community. So come check that out too. Yeah, sign up on my website, on my email list to get exclusive content and to be in the know about all these upcoming events. So thank you so much for being here. It's just such a pleasure to connect with you all, and I just couldn't be more thrilled to be having these discussions and sharing with you. And I look forward to connecting with you more when the time is right. And may this serve you well, and may you have just gorgeous, empowering experiences with these beautiful frequencies and energies in our experience. So, thanks all. Bye.